Suriname's President Desi Bouterse declares his innocence. And in sports, Windies emerging players win maiden regional Super 50 title. I'm Ricardo Roberts and this is Caribbean in 10 for Monday, December 2, 2019. I'll be back with the details after the break.
Advancing our development agenda through innovation, industry and investment. That was the theme for the Tobago Economic and Business Outlook Conference 2019. This year's conference examined solutions for some of Tobago's most pressing economic challenges and provided an update on the island's development agenda.
We chose this theme because we firmly believe that innovation, investment and industry are integral to advancing our island's development.
We've got a huge fan base. They're all into the off-road racers, and a lot of the people that I race against also race in the Baja Racing, so it's a very easy transition. And we worked on this barrel roll. It's basically taking a Baja-style truck and spinning it in the air, 4,500-pound truck, spinning it in the air and landing it on the ground. Nobody's ever done that before. Yeah, we worked on that for 4 years, and we decided to roll it out down at Ensenada, and it was really well received.
Suriname's President Desi Bouterse returned home yesterday, declaring his innocence after a military court sentenced him to 20 years in jail for his involvement in the 1982 murders of 15 political opponents. He was on a visit to China when the ruling was handed down on Friday. Bouterse branded the ruling as a political and told supporters the decision of the three-panel military court was not unexpected. He plans to challenge the results and will meet with his advisors and members of parliament to discuss the next step. Bouterse added that he is focused on the May 2020 general elections, in which he will lead the ruling National Democratic Party, even as opposition parties called for him to step down. His trial had been ongoing for several years. In a lengthy verdict last week, the court said Bouterse had overseen an operation in which soldiers under his command abducted 16 leading government critics, including lawyers, journalists, and university teachers, from their homes and killed 15 of them at a colonial fortress in the capital, Paramaribo. The court did not give any order for the president's detention. He has at least 2 weeks to appeal the ruling. Police in Jamaica are reporting that the number of murders from January to November was higher than the same period last year. The increase comes despite states of emergencies being declared in several parishes. We get the details in this TVJ News report.
For the period January 1 to November 30, 2019, crime statistics show that murders are up by roughly 2%. That means there were 22 more reported murders in comparison to the over 1,200 in the same period last year. Only 472 were cleared up. The St. Andrews South Police Division, which is still under a state of a public emergency, has the highest number of murders, 158. It's followed by St. James with 137. Shootings are also up by roughly 7%. This down arrow shows the trend with rape, a 2.4% reduction. So too is aggravated assault by almost 5%. When combined, accusatory crimes such as robberies, break-ins and larceny are up by about 4%. Close to 600 firearms seized and over 13,000 rounds of ammunition. Meanwhile, Chief of Defense Staff Lieutenant General Rocky Meade says the Army is far advanced in its planning for the declaration of more ZOSOs. He gave the update at a recent meeting of the National Security Council. This follows an announcement from the Prime Minister that about 7 more ZOSOs will be declared as part of government's anti-crime strategy.
A team of observers from the Commonwealth Secretariat is in Dominica to observe Friday's general election. They arrived last Wednesday at the invitation of Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. They will meet with stakeholders, including election management officials, representatives of political parties, civil society groups, and others. Now, according to a statement from the Secretariat, the team will observe the election environment, including related court proceedings and preparations for polling day. The observer mission is chaired by Zainab Banura, the former Foreign Affairs Minister of Sierra Leone and the former Under Secretary General at the United Nations. She says the group's assessment will be its own and not that of any other individual, institution or country. Dominica has invited the US-based Carter Center, CARICOM, and the United Nations to observe the elections. And stay with us, your Midday Sport is next. A dominant West Indies emerging players defied all odds to script a fairy tale end to an astonishing regional Super 50 Cup campaign when they crushed favourites Leeward Islands Hurricanes by a record 205 runs last night. In a one-sided final at Queen's Park Oval in Trinidad, emerging players made a bold statement by piling up an imposing 293 for 7 of their 50 overs, with left-handed opener Leonardo Julian hitting a fluent 83 from 85 balls. Now faced with a record runs chase to win their first title in 9 years, Hurricanes folded meekly for 88 inside 27 overs as off-spinner Kevin Sinclair with 4 for 20 and leg-spinning captain Yannick Correa 3 for 8 demolished the innings. They were fighting at 64 for 3 in the 18th over but suffered a dramatic collapse to lose their last 7 wickets for just 24 runs. Left-hander Amir Jangu was the only batsman to reach 20 and was just one of 3 specialist batsmen to reach double figures as the Hurricanes' runs chase never got going after emerging players restricted the scoring early on. Switching sports, 6-time world champion Lewis Hamilton dominated from pole to finish as he capped the Formula One season with victory in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix yesterday. In a mundane affair at Yas Marina, the Mercedes star hardly put a foot wrong, getting away to a good start to put distance between himself and his challengers to post his 11th win of the 21-race season and equal his career-best performance for a campaign.
And Sebastian Vettel moves into 5th place, pushes Albon down into 6th.
Mate, we want to race Perez to the end, give it everything.
And Perez has got past Lando Norris as well. Sergio Perez getting Lando Norris on the final lap. Carlos Sainz trying to get at Nico Hulkenberg has now got Daniel Ricciardo right behind him as well. Sainz is in all sorts of bother at the moment as he scraps away to try and get 6th place in the Drivers' Championship. Lewis Hamilton has led every single lap of this race, had pole, has the fastest lap as well. It is Lewis Hamilton winning in Abu Dhabi to cap a championship winning season in 2019.
And that's Caribbean in 10. Join us again at 6:30 for Caribbean Newsline. Until then, good afternoon.